Hey guys, glad to see you on this Tuesday. I guess actually I don't see you, do I? Anyway, I'm glad you're with me on this good Tuesday. Recognize if you haven't got your Christmas shopping done, man, you are in trouble. Oh no, it's a great day. I hope it's a great day for you, and just glad you're here. Glad you're with me. Welcome into my little world. Come on in for a moment. I was thinking about something that's been in the news reports just recently for several days, especially the weathermen, the meteorologists have brought it out, seem like. And it was the notice that for the first time in, I believe it was 800 years, 700 or 800 years, that the planets Jupiter and Saturn are almost in alignment as you look out in the southwestern sky in the early evening. And I've done that, gone out there. Maybe you have gone out and looked at it, and you can see very little difference between the two planets, almost like they're coming together. Now, again, in 70 something years, they'll be somewhat close together, but not again this close. 800 years. Maybe we'll be around to talk about it then. But I just think about it, and I remember thinking when I first heard this, and I know it's not exactly the same, but I remember thinking about a song. When they talked about those planets being in alignment, it struck me, it came out, and I began to think about that song, Aquarius. In 1967, there was the stage musical Hair, not one that I would attend or you would attend, but I'm sure at the age I was at that time, my parents definitely wouldn't have let me go. But out of that musical came some songs that became very popular during the time. And in 1969, the group, the Fifth Dimension, who really had a good sound, grabbed hold of one of those songs, Aquarius, and wrote it for a while. And it was very, very popular. But some of the lyrics from it, I want you to think about this. For it says, when the moon is in the seventh house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, and I recognize we're talking about a different planet there instead of Saturn, we've got Mars in place. It says, and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide the planets, and love will steer the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Now, I know there's a lot of silly superstition tied to that, and you can go back and you can do some research on the astronomers and the astrological things that are involved in such a thing as this and all. But it is that idea, and here's what I think about. It is that idea of optimism. When something like this happens, we're reminded of the beauty and the order and the system of our universe and our solar system, and the wonder of the creation of it all that brought it into being, that allows it to flow in the way that it does. And when we see something like that, we remember that something great brought it all into being. And the songwriter says, and love will steer the stars. It goes on the other words and the other lyrics in the song, and you can check them for yourselves. And it's an optimistic viewpoint of life. And yes, I realize it came out of that hippie weirdo generation. Thank you. That hippie weirdo generation, a long haired, dope smoking group of people from that time that had those, the ideas about life. And anyway, but the optimism that arises out of it is that love would control. And maybe here we look at the alignment of a couple of planets from our viewpoint, and we recognize there is something to value. There's something to value in the love that is there. I want you to think about some of the words of Jesus as he recounts some of his common or popular teaching in the 6th chapter of Luke. And he talks about the time when there'll be turmoil and stress and men will persecute you and so forth. But verse 23 says, Rejoice in that day and leap for joy, for indeed your reward is great in heaven. In the midst of a turbulent time, it's nice to look and see something of order and beauty, simplicity that comes back and reminds us that there is still a sense of love steering the stars. There's the opportunity to express. And here in the midst of this busy, hectically busy season of the year, when we're thinking about ourselves and thinking about other people, when we're thinking about giving and sharing, there's a reminder that we have the opportunity to let love be our guiding force as we deal with people and events. Maybe Jupiter and Mars are not exactly in alignment. Maybe it is Jupiter and Saturn, and we'll just alter the words of the song. But it's a reminder there's an opportunity to let love steer the stars of your life. As we interact with people, this season gives us a great opportunity to let love be the powerful force as it generates the best in our lives and in the lives of others. So, if there's an opportunity this evening, they'll still be out there, I guess. Getting pretty low on the horizon now. But take a look in the southwestern sky, just about dark, and be reminded of the alignment. Be reminded of a hippie song. And be reminded that love can be the steering force in our lives. If you think about it, go back and read. Go back and read the very end of the 13th chapter of 1 Corinthians again. Now abides faith, hope, and love, these three. But you remember the last line, don't you? The greatest of these is love. Hey, thanks for being with me today. Let it be a great Tuesday and a great season of the year. And hey, let love steer the stars of your day. We'll share some more further down the road. Glad you were sharing with me today. Thanks for being along.